If you are single or starting to see someone, how and when do you begin enacting these principles with the other person? I say for you single guys, you may not understand. Single guys oftentimes are like, I just want to really be praying with her. Ladies, true or false, that's really intimate. Right? If you're holding hands with a guy and you're praying for each other, I would submit to you men that for most women, that's as intimate as it gets. There are gals who would say, well, I'd sleep with him, but I wouldn't pray with him, right? Because the prayer is too intimate. It's at the level of the soul, and it's inviting God in. I mean, that's a very sacred thing to do together. And so it's a good thing to be praying for each other. It's a good thing to maybe be praying as you approach a more serious relationship. And what happens in a dating relationship, and by that we mean, a relationship that is moving toward marriage. As it's moving toward marriage, the level of intimacy goes up. So when you're just getting to know each other, maybe you're going to different churches, you start getting pretty serious, you visit each other's churches, trying to figure out how you do spiritual life together. Maybe now as we're really looking toward premarital, it's time to start Bible studying some issues together and figuring out if we agree. Maybe as we're heading toward marriage, we're starting to pray together and for each other regularly and building that intimacy. But it's almost got to be sort of a dimmer switch that you're turning on over time as you move toward marriage. Because if you start with real deep, intense, emotional, spiritual intimacy, and then the relationship doesn't move forward, there's real heartbreak and loss. And that's where Proverbs says to guard your heart, because it's the wellspring of your life. The refrain over and over in the Song of Songs is, do not arouse or awaken love until it's time. And so that's where wise counsel comes in and says, okay, this is where the relationship is at. So prayer or Bible reading would be okay at this level of intimacy at this stage in the marriage, in the dating relationship, and it'll get more close as you move toward and into marriage. I don't know what you'd ask from the woman's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, individually, we need to be praying, reading the Bible, and going to church. So if we're single or starting to see someone, those people need to be doing it too. You can tell a lot about each other in their walk with the Lord if they're faithfully going to church, if they're faithfully praying, if they're faithfully reading the Bible. So you need to be doing those things individually, whether or not you're going to be dating or intentionally dating. And so as you, like he said, there's a time frame. There's not a magical number, but if you're in the Word and praying, you're going to have a sense of what God is calling you to together next, or not. You'll have red flags if shouldn't be any connection there. So I think, just make sure you're doing it individually, and then as you build those patterns, you'll see together what's appropriate. And praying for each other, not holding hands, and praying for each other or over the phone is something that you can do. But you should be going to church, together, or at least communicating about your spiritual walk, because that's going to be at the base of your relationship going forward.